Now, I know that in real life, you would never commit a crime, even in the states where they have, in Florida, for example, they have not only the death penalty, but in Florida, they also have the electric chair. Now, I know that you and I would never commit a crime for which we would get the death penalty in this life, but let's just say, for the sake of the illustration that we did, let's imagine we shoot somebody dead in a shopping mall, which I know we'd never do, but just for the sake of the illustration, imagine how you would feel. You're taken off to trial. You stand there, you know what's coming. You know that you're guilty, and so you're up before the judge and you're waiting for him to sentence you to death by electrocution. Listen up. And as the judge is about to pass the sentence of death by electrocution, imagine a stranger who bursts into the courtroom and runs past the clerks of court down towards the dock and offers to stand in your place in the dock. And rather than the judge stopping the trial, the judge allows the disturbance to continue. And so what happens is the judge passes the sentence of death upon the stranger rather than on you. There are gasps in the courtroom. The press who are reporting the case cannot believe the judge has sentenced this other guy to death. Your relatives in the gallery can hardly believe it. The judge bangs his gavel on the desk. Clerk of court says, "All rise," and it's over. And then the sight you've been looking to see, all these months that you've been waiting for sentence, the guard comes up to you with a tiny little key, the key to your freedom and to your complete delight. He unlocks the first cuff. He puts the key in the second cuff, and he unlocks the second cuff. You can hardly believe it. Is this really real? It seems almost too good to be true. As the guards unlock each and every one of your shackles, and then they take the shackles. You know what else happens? All this time, you've been wearing this baby. In the States, this is a fearsome thing. This is a symbol of death in the US of A, the orange jumpsuit. This is how you came to court that day. You came to court wearing this baby. This is the mark of death. You're going to die. That's where you're heading. You're heading for the chair, sonny. And they take off the chains, they take off the shackles, and then they take off you the orange jumpsuit, that stigma. And they put on to the stranger the orange jumpsuit. They put on to the stranger the shackles and the chains. And then they lead him off. And as he passes you, understandably, you grab his arm and you say, "Excuse me, I've got to just ask you, I don't even know you, you're a stranger to me. Why? Why would you choose to give up your life? Why would you voluntarily give up your life just so that I can go free? I don't even know you." And imagine he says back to you, "Well, you see, it's like this. I really do love you." And you think, what? I mean, this just sounds too good to be true. Is this really happening? This must be some sort of joke. So you wander out into the foyer of the courtroom of the courthouse, and there a journalist runs up to you looking very excited and says, "Hey, that stranger, or the bloke who you thought was a stranger, he's no stranger to me. I know exactly who he is. I went to school with him. I sat next to him in math." That stranger is the judge's one and only son. Now you are in awe of the judge. A few moments later, the judge passes you, having finished his business for the day. He's crossing the courthouse foyer to go to his car to drive him home. As he passes you, you grab his arm and you say, "Your Honor, I've just got to ask you, why? Why would you choose to give up your one and only son? Why on earth would you choose to sentence your one and only son to death just so that I can go free?" And he says, "Well, you see, it's like this. I really do love you." Still, you think, well, this is too good to be true. This is just, I don't know, it's just ridiculous almost. And so you wander outside, and you of course, you weren't expecting to be free, so you don't have anything planned. And half an hour later, you're standing by the side of the road, and you see a police car racing towards you, and think, "Oh, well, the game's up. They come to get me after all. They're going to arrest me after all." And so, you look at of course, the officers are looking straight at you, flashing blue lights, but they drive straight past. And that's when the penny drops. That you suddenly realize that as far as the government are concerned, they're not after you anymore. As far as the government are concerned, your crime is dealt with. You really are free. Folks, that illustration is about the best that I can do to explain to you what happened in around 33 AD when God, a loving judge, looked down on his one and only son as he hung on a cross and sentenced him to death instead of you so that you can go free because he really does love you. Somehow when Jesus hung on the cross, suspended between heaven and earth, God treated Jesus as if he committed the sins of every single person who would ever believe, of every single person that comes forward tonight.